So, like 12 years ago, I was walking up to the Haiku Cannery. I'd always go to like the Haiku grocery and get things, or sometimes I'd go to Colleen's and get a burger or something. It's a long time ago before I was vegan. And there used to be this huge security guard. He just had like pillars for legs and just was enormous. And so I used to think to myself that he was like an ex-powerlifter or something, because like he just had gigantic hands and big thick wrists and giant forearms, and just everything about him was huge, and it just looked like he could move a ton. So anyway, there was this black belt at Mama's Fish House, this really cool guy that was like our #1 bartender. And sometimes I used to cruise and hang out with him after work, and he was really smart and cool. And I knew he taught Kung Fu, but I never could go to it because my schedule never like was in line with when he was teaching. And then one day I was cruising with him, and he invited me to Kung Fu, and I said that I work when he's teaching. He's like, no, come to the advanced class. My Sifu teaches myself and another advanced student on Saturdays. And I'm like, okay. So I came over, and to my surprise, the guy who was teaching this Kung Fu class was that big giant security guard that I had seen so many years before. And so I was familiar with his presence and like what he looked like and stuff, but I had never met him because he was one of those people with a hard exterior that kept you at a distance, kind of. You didn't really feel welcome. You just felt like he wanted to be left alone, and he was a big giant, so you left him alone. So I started my Kung Fu journey under Sifu John. Prior to that, I had just done like a little bit of wrestling, a tiny bit of amateur boxing, and a couple years of karate as a kid. And like I tried Taekwondo and didn't like it, but Kung Fu, like this is exactly what I was looking for. Like after reading Bruce Lee and everything, this was the first time I saw the same concepts in real life. This guy knew about economy, emotion, and all kinds of really cool stuff, like just being relaxed and letting stuff come in and dealing with it all effortlessly. It was the kind of art where an old person could beat a strong young person because of technique and intelligence. So I spent a long time training very regularly under Sifu John. I was going to his class 3 times a week. And after like about 3.5 years, I got my black belt and started teaching. And then it wasn't long after that that I met Sifu Dave and started training under both of them. And eventually, because of what I wanted out of the art, I started training a lot more under Sifu Dave, and just basically going to Sifu John's advanced class with the other 2 black belts. And anyway, after spending so much time with him over the last like nearly 9 years, he went away last night, but it was the best way possible. He was peacefully sleeping, and he just left. And you know, John, he was a big champion. He was a super talented martial artist with an eye for detail, and he just was a massive strong man. So the fact that he had gotten cancer a few years ago and he was starting to fall apart and couldn't really lift his weights, and just knew that he was kind of withering away and not the same man he once was. I don't think he wanted to be here anymore. I think he liked being the big strong champion. I mean, who doesn't? Like, not most people get to experience that, but if you get to be super gifted at something, it isn't a pleasant experience when that starts going away from you. And I definitely don't think he enjoyed that, and I think he just really didn't want to be here anymore. So I'm happy that he's at peace now. I'm definitely gonna miss him. He was he was a very unique character. You could definitely clash with him, but he was real forthright. Like, you never had to wonder what he was thinking or second guess anything. He was always very frank. He was always very honest. And it's just gonna be strange not having him in my life again. And I'm definitely glad I crossed paths with him, and I'm just glad he's at peace now.